All right, today we're heading somewhere really special. We're taking a trip to a remote, snow-covered mountain village, and we're not just going for the incredible scenery, we're there to witness a tradition. We're going to break down step by step how a timeless feast is made using just fire, earth, and a whole lot of patience. So let's jump right in.
Just picture it. The air is sharp and cold, and there's snow everywhere you look. But inside, there's this incredible warmth. And it's not just from a fire. It's the warmth you feel from anticipation, from a community getting ready for a meal that's been cooked this exact way for generations.
You know, any amazing result always starts with getting the basics right, and this meal is the perfect example. The real magic begins way before any fire is lit. It all starts with the careful, thoughtful preparation of every single ingredient.
I mean, just look at this list of ingredients. It tells you everything you need to know. It's all about simplicity and quality. You've got a whole lamb. That's the star of the show, of course, and it's carefully trimmed of any extra fat. And right alongside it, you have all this fresh produce. Tomatoes and eggplants getting washed in ice-cold water, potatoes, carrots, sweet shallots. There's nothing complicated here. Just pure, honest flavors that are meant to work with the lamb, not overpower it.
Okay, now this part right here is absolutely crucial. These aren't just random slashes in the meat. Deep scores are carved very deliberately all over the lamb. You can think of them like little channels, and they have one job and one job only, to let that delicious marinade get deep down into the muscle. This is what makes sure every single bite is bursting with flavor.
So how do you build that flavor? With this beautiful, simple mix. Each spice plays a role. The salt doesn't just season, it helps tenderize the meat. Paprika gives it that gorgeous color and a little warmth. Turmeric adds a wonderful earthy depth. Then you pour in the oil and it brings everything together into this rich, fragrant paste. Then comes the fun part, working that marinade all over, pushing it deep into every one of those cuts. This is where the lamb really starts its transformation.
All right, the lamb is marinating, so it's time for the next stage. Now we assemble all these amazing elements into one self-contained package of flavor. You can think of it as a time capsule for the entire feast.
Before we even get to the lamb, you have to build its foundation. All those fresh vegetables, the chopped carrots, the sliced eggplant, potatoes, and peeled shallots, they all get tossed with some seasoning and laid out. They create this amazing fragrant bed that's going to roast and caramelize right underneath the lamb.
And here we go. That beautifully marinated lamb is carefully placed right on top of that bed of vegetables. It's literally the heart of the meal, and from this moment on, all those incredible flavors are going to start to get to know each other.
Now, this technique is just brilliant. First, the whole thing gets wrapped up tightly in parchment paper. Then, that package gets wrapped again, this time in a heavy-duty layer of foil. This double wrap creates a perfect seal. It basically turns the parcel into its own little oven, trapping every last drop of steam and juice. Absolutely nothing is getting out.
The parcel is ready to go, but now it needs to be completely transformed. So we move from the kitchen to the elemental forces of fire and earth. It's time to introduce the ancient tool that's going to do all the heavy lifting, the tandoor.
So what exactly is a tandoor? Well, think of it as a giant clay pot or a cylinder-shaped oven that's buried right in the ground. You build a fire at the very bottom, and those thick clay walls just soak up the heat and radiate it incredibly evenly. It creates this intense 360-degree cooking environment. It's just the perfect setup for slow roasting something to absolute perfection.
Which of course springs up a really good question. You've got this incredibly hot pit, and you're about to put your food in it for hours. How in the world do you keep all that heat contained and working for you?
And the answer is just, it's pure genius. It's not some fancy high-tech piece of equipment. It's mud. A simple layer of wet earth is packed all around the lid to seal it completely shut. As that mud dries from the heat, it becomes hard as a rock, creating a perfect airtight seal. It literally turns the entire tandoor into an underground earthen pressure cooker. It's amazing.
So after hours buried in that fiery earth, the time has finally come. All the patient prep work and the slow, steady heat of the fire are about to pay off in a big way. It is time for the grand reveal.
The fire has died down. The world outside is quiet. All that's left is the slow, silent magic happening underground, transforming these simple ingredients into an unforgettable feast.
And then that moment arrives. That hard, baked-on mud seal is cracked open, and that's the first sign that the long, long wait is finally over.
And there it is. The parcel, all blackened from the heat, is carefully lifted out of the tandoor. A hidden treasure, finally brought back up into the light, ready to be unveiled.
And now for the final, satisfying ritual. The outer layer of foil gets peeled back, the inner parchment is carefully torn open, and this huge cloud of steam just erupts. It's the captured essence of lamb, spices, and roasted vegetables all at once. And then, through the steam, you see it, the golden brown, perfectly cooked lamb.
And the result of all that time and all that tradition? Just pure perfection. The meat is so unbelievably tender that it just falls away from the bone. All those hours of slow, moist heat broke down all the tough connective tissue and turned it into rich, succulent gelatin. You don't even need to carve it. You can just gently pull it apart. You know, watching all of this really makes you stop and think. We live in a world that is obsessed with speed and convenience, getting everything right now. But this meal, this whole process, it's a testament to the exact opposite. It's a powerful reminder that some of the best things in life just cannot be rushed. They demand patience, they demand tradition, and they demand a little faith in something as simple as fire and earth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else in our lives could be better if we just gave it a little more time?